So guys, NIO is reporting second quarter 2024 earnings on Thursday, September 5th, 2024 before market opens. Here's the things that you need to know heading into this earnings report. We know for a fact that deliveries were all-time high quarterly deliveries, 57,373, increasing 143.9% year over year for the quarter. So we know for a fact that year over year increase is going to be amazing, all right? And we're going to also see a record revenue, right? Record quarterly revenue ever for NIO. It's going to look fantastic, all right? Is this enough to trigger a short squeeze? Wait until we find out. All right, there are some other things that you must understand. So first of all, we got to know the incentives, because for Q2, they gave out a lot of incentives. How heavy are these incentives, and how much of an impact will they have on NIO's earnings? Well, the biggest incentive was for BaaS, pay 4 months, get 1 month free, but that actually has no direct impact at the spot. Like after 4 months of payment, NIO pays the 5th month, so that really doesn't impact them right there at that moment. All right, so the BaaS payment, it's only like 700 RMB per car for a month. So even though NIO has to fork out that payment, that's like nothing, $100 for a car. Per car for giving out this free incentive. So that's nothing. The other incentive that they were giving out, 10,000 RMB worth of free specs, that could hurt margins a little bit, all right? And, that it is what it is, but it was definitely a very good incentive. They also gave out 40 free swap vouchers, and this also has no direct impact right there at the spot. They got to go swap, and then, that swap voucher is used up, and that's an expense for NIO, but that's only a small, tiny expense, so no direct impact from that as well. 1 year of free NOP plus, basically NIO Pilot, that thing also has no direct impact as well. The other one which may have some impact is the free NIO phone that they were giving out during Q2, which was for the month of April and May. They were giving out free NIO phone with every single car purchase. This will definitely have a little bit of an impact because, of a phone, that is a little bit of an expense. And also the inventory car discounts. During that period of time, April, May, they had to get rid of 2023 variants, so they gave out massive inventory discounts. And then also 2024 variants, those that weren't really taken delivery of, they were also considered inventory cars, and those discounts vary from 6K RMB upwards to 36K RMB. So quite a lot, and this stacks up with the free specs before. So you can imagine $1,000 upwards to like $6,000-7,000 US dollars per car. So that's quite a lot of money saved by the customer. So that could also have a little bit of impact. But more importantly, cash. All right. So if we look at here, right here. All right, cash balance as of March 31st, 2024. This was after Q1 earnings report. They had 6.3 billion at the end of March. 3 months before that, they had 8.1 billion. So in 3 months, almost $2 billion of cash was gone. Where? Spent. Spent where? Well, several things. This was Q1, right? So Q1 they spent, cash was down by almost 2 billion. But what about Q2? Well, there are certain things that they're doing. We know for a fact UAE expansion. All right, they're expanding there. Definitely a lot of expenses going to expanding to a new market. And then you also have, more importantly, the Envo soft launch. So with the Envo soft launch that started on May 15th, that was when they did the soft launch. They also increased a lot of marketing activities for Envo. So that's going to be a decent amount of expenses. Store plus sales network buildup. They were building stores in Q2 and also hiring lots of people. Sales reps were hired. They were paid with salary, but no real revenue because the cars aren't being delivered. So there's there's a massive expense from Onvo, which is to be expected, right? When you're launching a new car brand, it takes a lot of dough to get it up and running. So there's that. And then also, more importantly, all right, where is the cash going? Why did the cash drop so much in Q1? Factory. All right, they're building Factory 3 and Factory 4, and that requires a lot of money. And very soon they're going to be building Factory number 3 for swap stations, but that doesn't impact Q2. It impacts Q3 and Q4. So Q2, Factory number 3 and Factory number 4. It's a wild guess about how much that's going to impact on the cash. And then we also have, just in general, increased marketing activities. For example, they're doing lots of comparison events with competitor cars, BMW comparison events, doing these kind of lavish events where they invite these BMW car owner groups to go and test drive a NIO, and then also have a very exquisite dinner party, that kind of stuff, to let them know how great NIO vehicles are, but that also cost quite a lot of money as well. So there's that as well, increased marketing expenses in general. Will NIO stock short squeeze? Well, it also really depends on the amount of losses, right? The losses are going to be very, very important. If the losses are massive, like even more than Q1, which it's hard to say if it's going to be more than Q1, because in Q1, losses in general was like $700 million in losses, which was massive, quite a lot. If it's going to be more than that, then definitely we're not going to see a short squeeze. But if we have less of that, all right, less losses than 700 million, maybe say losses reduced down to 300 or 400 million, that's going to look a lot better. And that could trigger a short squeeze. And also the short squeeze would also be dependent on the cash. So the cash positioning, the amount of cash being reduced. So we know at the end of March, they had about 6.3 billion in cash, right? So 6.3 billion in cash. How much are they going to have in cash by the end of Q2? By the end of Q2, if it's another decrease by almost 2 billion in cash, then that's gonna really get people alarmed about potential dilution or maybe fundraising, that kind of stuff, and that would definitely not help out with any short squeezes. But if cash depletion was very low, then we could definitely see a very good reaction in the stock price. And it's pretty much guaranteed that we're going to have record revenues, right? Record revenues is guaranteed. That's for sure. But all the things they're doing, expansion, global expansion, new factories, Onvo buildup, is that going to generate massive losses? We'll have to see. So earnings are going to come out. I'm cautiously optimistic. All right, that's the best way to phrase it. I'm cautiously optimistic, and hopefully we can get some great numbers, and hopefully great margins. Hopefully, not that much in losses. Hopefully, right? And hopefully they still have a very strong cash position by the end of Q2. So that's what I'm hoping for. What are you guys hoping for? As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.